Yeah, he's a judge. He has to do it.
Nino.
Hey.
Long time no see. From the mechanic shop to now, how you been?
Wait, you used to work for me?
I used to come by all the time and see and speak to you and get repairs. What are you kidding me?
Oh shit! You know how it is. It's been a minute.
I know. Hope you've been well.
Yeah.
I hear lots of things happening from you.
I didn't know I knew Archie on Nino. Yeah, it's been a bit of a headache. I've used a certain word more times in the city than I ever have.
Oh,
but
God.
It's the only descriptor to describe the amount of childlike conversations I've had to handle. It's like the best way I can describe it is it's kind of like, you got like a toddler or whatever, right? I'm not saying people are people act like toddlers sometimes, I feel, right? It's like, you tell them you're not allowed to put your hand on the stove, right? You explain how it works. But it's like, while you're trying to explain them not to do that, you're also having to like manage their like feelings, because they're like, why are you yelling at me not to put my hand on the stove?
Why can't I do this?
Yeah. And it's like, why is he being such a dick? And it's like, listen, you fucking pussy. All right. I don't got time for your bullshit.
Hell no.
I'm not, I'm not who you think I am. I don't really have much of a filter when it comes to, some things.
Absolutely.
But,
so give me the rundown. Everyone's getting impeached. You're running for mayor. That's what I've been told.
Oh, who told you I'm running for mayor?
Rick.
I am very much considering it. As of, I think I am. Okay. And the reason is rather straightforward. Yesterday night, I realized how incompetent our government is. And specifically, their inability to identify the most fundamental things that needed and should have been focused on after the framework was put into place 7 months ago.
Absolutely.
I understand that there may be some things in legislation that might have been like asked for, but they do not represent the problems that the everyday person faces. Unless some of these basics are managed, everything crumbles. And a big part of my focus is going to be bringing rights back to the people.
Absolutely.
Lawyers, the thing I've been focusing on right now this past little bit is the FOIA process. The ability for lawyers to be able to quickly get the documentation they need to defend their clients. Because right now, the PD can get away with not giving you anything. And there's no recourse.
Absolutely.
I then want to tackle things like right to a speedy trial. Because without like these little fundamentals, well, then you can never really argue, like, how do you argue letter of the law when those letters don't exist?
Yeah.
Right? And what's frustrating for me is the notion of, but DOJ said, but Crane said, but Slack said, but I don't know, Barrick said, or my friend said. What the fuck bullshit is this? If it's not written, it doesn't exist. It is a fact that has been true from the inception of any organization, governmental, corporate, or even fucking mom and pop. Can you imagine? Like, I don't know. But anyways.
I don't know if you know what has happened to me. I went down the route of getting charges from having weapons that I forgot to report stolen put onto me that were used in crimes that I didn't even commit for accessory. My own guns and my weapons license were taken away.
I would represent him, but I'm working with him on tugs.
And so the system is really, there's a lot.
Wait, you were charged? Just, okay. This sounds very similar to one of my clients. He has been a civilian for a very long time. He's got dozens of reports citing him being robbed by various gangs, the bulk of which he does not lose a gun. A fraction of which he does. One of those guns goes undocumented. Whose fault is it? They're pushing it on him. Brain dead. Like, how are you going to tell
Absolutely brain dead.
anybody that a civilian that has not been trained in the intricacies of the MDT, which my own, like, overseers cannot even use? I can't still see my DOJ documents. You know what I mean? And you're telling me that a civilian is supposed to go to Mission Row PD and you ready for this?
What?
File a report, ensure that they get a report number, and knowing that it's even a thing, right? They don't know how the fuck this shit looks like.
Hell no.
And then know that they got to file a FOIA to make sure it's been printed.
Oh.
You are literally creating a system by which you are generating felons through clerical error. How can you differentiate? If our legal system is supposed to be putting criminals behind bars, right? I get it. If someone is going and selling guns under the table, sure, they deserve to get charged, right?
Absolutely.
But how do you differentiate between them and a clerical error? You can't. And to pass the buck to them is fucking dumb.
Ruining people's lives.
Now, the thing is, it's astonishing to me how many of these incidents actually exist. I originally, when it came across my desk, I thought it was just one of my clients. I then, during the conversation with him, one of these guys that I met at the toll lot, is a supervisor, got his gun stolen.
Okay,
my niece, who is a clerk, doesn't even know that they got to do these steps. They just say report it to the cops, because that's what do you think else you got to do? How do you know you need a fucking specific receipt back?
Hell no. Wait, people are not thinking about that.
Fucking sense. It's the common sense isn't there. And you know why it's not there? Because people are being intentionally what the fuck?
Yeah.
Is that active over here? Sorry, I'm
Ski man, there's an active situation going on.
Oh shit.
Everything's okay.
Sorry, I just drove into like a shootout or something. So it's because people aren't listening. The console isn't listening. I would even say even the lawyers aren't listening, and I'm very disappointed in the most senior of our lawyers. Now, I did speak to Damien, and it sounds like to me that he's stating that he's the most tenured of what exists, and that's unfortunate. So
have you spoken to Robin, Tony, Uriel, or Rick?
All of them except for Robin, who I'm trying to contact, but he hasn't been around the last few
I'd
days.
get a hold of him. He is, he's an older gentleman who's kind of.
So I wanna bring some of this back. Like, I'm gonna spitball you an idea. I've heard some of these problems. You know what the solution is?
Yeah.
A fucking public database of stolen weapons.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
A good one.
Holy shit. Wait, something that everyone can access. What's the problem with giving people access to that? Right? And if it's not public, then maybe one that's like held by the DOJ, the PD, and
they just want to keep
right. If you need a bit of a shield, I don't know why you gotta hide it. You know why you gotta gotcha people? If someone is fucking selling guns and it's not in, like, imagine you could just like pull it up and look at a database. Oh shit! Wait, why didn't they add my thing in there? You know what I mean? Like the fuck.
I know.
Now,
and it's not a complicated thing and something that could be done. They just don't. They will not do it.
Yeah.
Unless someone else was in charge necessarily.
Yeah. So I mean, look, that doesn't even need to be the solution, but it's a solution, right? And
Agreed.
When you present a solution, that's when you have something called adult debate, in which other parties that have stakes in it from different perspectives, be it judges, be it the police department, weigh in with ideally not a yes or a no, but rather here's a suggested alteration that fits my needs.
Yes.
Right? That's how you have fucking debate. Not these yeses and nos and can't do this and but it's not like this. Suck my dick, write it down. If it ain't written, it ain't real.
It ain't real. Hey,
maybe that's a slogan. God. If it ain't written, it ain't real. Yeah,
there you go. Use that for your campaign.
Yeah, there you go.
I just want to say though, if you're serious about that,
written, it ain't real.
It ain't real.
Suck my dick with a K.
Suck my dick. All right, let's run it. If you're serious about it, I will support you. I mean, currently,
I would transparently, I am very serious about it. But I am equally open to stepping aside if a better candidate comes along.
Absolutely.
And I mean someone that actually has the passion, the drive, the intelligence, etc., to be able to press these things. Because look, we can't have like a fucking bozo like Osvaldo memeing his way into
Osvaldo or
office.
Kyle fucking Pratt.
I don't know much of Pred outside of his time as
He
sheriff.
used to be the sheriff, yeah.
But you know, I like the guy. I truly do.
Yeah.
But
Me
the
too,
city
but-
does not need a Pred right now. It
No.
needs someone to come in and fix this shit, and then that will make room for your Preds and your Osvaldos to come in. And
if that's
and-
somebody like, I mean, I'm willing to support. Right now, Osvaldo is kind of ordered me into trying to help him set up some meetings for stuff. But I'll be honest with you, in a heartbeat, someone like you, I would help you campaign if you're serious about it. I would help you. I would help you go for it.
1,000% serious.
Okay.
Let the world know. Collect the problems that they're facing. Let me
Yes.
know what they are. I want to bring democracy back to the city. I want rights to come back to
absolutely.
the city.
I
And
agree.
I want us to be made available so that, like, I don't give a fuck if it's every other day. I can sit down with a different group and be like, how do we solve the problems that you're facing? And realistically bring
Yes.
things, even if I'm the only guy that sits at the city council and presents, here are the things that we're facing, where are your what are your preconditions, what are your problems, etc., etc. You know,
I mean, that's what needs to be heard and done and said. Now, just real quick, I don't mean to pry about this, but I am very curious due to the fact that I've personally been affected and afflicted by these people. What is going on with the council? Everyone's getting
useless.
impeached.
let them get
What's
impeached.
happening? What's happening?
Who cares?
No,
You
I know who cares,
Like,
but
I'd
so
say
Murphy's impeaching them,
they
and he's
got-
getting impeached, right?
I don't know the details. I kind of look. I'm gonna be honest with you. For me, they haven't like directly affected me. Like it is from a short-term perspective. They've affected me from being complacent and useless, on varying amounts, right? Because I do not think a rational, functioning adult who's been given that position would look at what we currently have as spoken to people, which should rationally be something that they know they are responsible for,
Yep.
and say, hey, let's go like pass a bunch of bullshit, right? It doesn't compute. And while that may be offensive, I don't really give a shit. It's
No, I
just
get it.
part and parcel with, I think, why a lot of people are unhappy. And that includes the police department, you know?
Yeah. But how are we going to have a functioning city if we don't have a council that, I mean, is arguing amongst themselves and not even able to make up their minds of getting along and fucking coming up with stuff to help and just focusing on their own goose chases?
Yeah, I think I'm not privy to how those conversations went. I'm only looking at what they produced, and their production has been like, you know, pretty like I like targeted towards what seemed like specific individuals that likely asked for specific things, like property allocation for performance, brother, food safety administration, anti-MIMAC, funding request act, funding transparency. The fuck is this? This is so like this is so like shit. Like half of this is useless. A quarter of it probably should have been done in term one, like within the first 2 weeks.
Oh yeah.
And some of it like adoption policy, like fucking like I don't know, man. Like you know, the Bill of Human Rights is good, but it's so. I mean, I think a big part of it may have been because there was Moulton and Murphy.
Oh God.
That were in that probably didn't forward some of the concerns of their clients forward.
Yeah.
But from my understanding, they never really had many clients to begin with.
No.
Therefore, not a pulse of what problems are being faced. But equally, I would put that on the mayor, the assistant mayor, the et cetera, et cetera. So
I want to say, just truthfully, first off, there's been a head of bar curse with these two, with the lackluster of things they can do to their ability that they have not done at all. I barely saw Moulton. I was on the civilian oversight board. He was my boss. He didn't do shit.
Apparently, you guys the civilian oversight committee hasn't even met once yet.
They did meet once recently at Murphy's house for the first time and got nothing done.
it's I don't that is not.
Yeah.
I am a corporate fucking god. All right. I have run some of the biggest businesses in
I know you
this
have.
city has
I've
ever
seen
seen.
it.
Pegasus, Sahara. I helped kick off Rooster's Rest, which the preamble to what became Cerberus. I
Yes.
have literally had judges quit because I broke down how idiotic their tax system used to be and had them create this, like, get so fucking pissed they named the new tax code after me. You know?
That's pretty impressive.
Plan, if elected, to run the city council like an actual board, where when we walk in, we're going down the business, and if you cannot handle how to conduct yourself like a fucking adult, I'm gonna make you.
Exactly, and that's what I appreciate about you. Yeah, because she needs to get them. They're working with people they don't like on the council. They don't meet enough to get shit done anyway, and when they do, they barely talk about one topic. And when they go into all this other shit, they don't even have meetings.
You
So,
know what?
I don't know.
I did see one actually recently, a clip of it, and it kind of reminded me of watching like a dog shit version of like Downton Abbey mixed with C-SPAN. Like, the fuck is this shit? You know what I mean?
Know.
Like,
it's just.
anyways,
Well, yeah, I'm glad we got the catch up. I'm glad you're back. I'm glad you're doing your thing. If you need something from me, let me know. I'm gonna help you any way you need.
okay, I appreciate it. Spread the word, pass people my way, clients, potential
Absolutely.
hopefuls, and
I might even need
individuals
you there.
think that I need to speak to that have sway over many others. You know.
Will do. Absolutely. All right. I'll speak
Easy.
to you soon.
All
All right. I know.
We'll take
Bye.
care. Bye. You just call me Nino.